We've talked about sharks, we've talked about crocs, we've talked about not a lot of things because this channel is relatively new still. Thanks for joining. There's so much to the ocean that we could be learning about. But today, bird's the word. Specifically, aquatic birds. Aquatic birds are defined by the traits that help them live near or in aquatic environments. These traits include webbed feet, waterproof feathers, and beaks that help them hunt for food in the ocean. And legs that are suited for swimming and diving. That's so cute. There are many aquatic birds to discuss, but today we are going to be talking about a special three. First up, the albatross. The albatross is an aquatic bird found near the North Pacific and the Southern Ocean. There are 22 species of albatross, and of all those species, every single one is cute. That is an important fact to know. Why are my cats fighting while I'm trying to film? Also an important fact is that of all the albatrosses, most of them have had some scare with endangerment. So we really gotta work hard to keep them around. The albatross has the longest wingspan of any bird, with the wandering albatross having a wingspan of 8 to 11 feet from tip to tip. These wings can propel them for miles with just a single flap. This feat is possible because once the albatross extends their wings, a special tendon locks the wings into place, which helps them conserve their energy so they don't waste it flying. They just ride the winds for miles and miles. Albatrosses can live for up to 60 years and spend 80% of their life at sea. They only come on land to breed and nest. Albatrosses are the subject of many nautical legends, with some sailors believing if an albatross flies above your ship, it means that the soul of the lost sailor is there to protect you. Also, it could mean that the winds needed to sail will be provided. Next up, puffins. Aside from being a delicious cereal, puffins are an aquatic bird living along the western coast of North America and the eastern coast of Asia. I don't know why I couldn't say that. There are 4 different species of puffin, and just like the albatross, every species is adorable. I mean, look at those webbed feet! The 4 puffins are the tuft puffin, the horned puffin, the Atlantic puffin, and the rhinoceros auklet. The birds got their name puffin because they are little puffballs. Literally, that's where the name came from. Sometimes science isn't that deep. Their colorful face markings have also earned them the names the clowns of the sea and sea parrots. Of the 4 puffins, the rhinoceros auklet was actually misnamed. When identifying these puffins, scientists thought they were actually from a tribe of auklets, which is a different type of bird, but they're actually puffins. They thought they weren't puffins because their features weren't as distinct as the puffins you see that kind of look like they were AI generated, TBH, but what are you gonna do? Lo and behold, the auklet is a puffin! The tuft puffin, named for the crown of yellow feathers atop its head. The tuft puffin is the largest species of puffin and is also the one that can dive the deepest, diving to be about 350 feet below the surface, also known as 106 meters. In contrast to the largest tuft puffin, the smallest puffin is the Atlantic puffin. These puffins were actually hunted to depletion in the United States in the early 1900s, but thanks to the efforts of an ornithologist named Stephen Kress, we got the populations in Maine to rise again. This was accomplished by transplanting puffins from Newfoundland into some islands in Maine, and then using decoy birds to lure the fledglings who had matured to come back to the island. Newfoundland? Newfoundland? I suddenly don't know how to pronounce that country, and now I feel like an ignorant American. Speaking of puffins and people, in Iceland, there is a tradition to toss puffins off of cliffs, which may sound like animal abuse, but stay with me. So in Iceland, there's city lights, and puffins will confuse the city lights for the moon, which throws off their migration cycle. So to make sure that the little baby puffins know where they're going to get to the right direction, people in Iceland will toss the puffin off the cliff to make sure it has the right start to its journey. So it's actually a very kind thing to do. Honestly, I want to make a full video dedicated to puffins, so we're going to stop there. Moving on to the penguin. Penguins are flightless aquatic birds known for their distinctive black and white plumage, upright posture, and excellent swimming abilities. There are 18 species of penguin. Almost all of them live in the southern hemisphere, but there is one outlier. The Galapagos penguin lives just north of the equator. Penguins are excellent divers, propelling themselves to speeds up to 15 miles per hour. Interestingly, while most birds have hollow bones, penguins' bones are denser, which means that they are less buoyant, so they can dive deeper without floating to the top of the ocean. Their little feet are also designed to give them the ability to steer themselves like boat rudders, so they can control which direction they're going when they swim. On land, penguins huddle together to stay safe and to stay warm. Isn't that so cute? They can also march for up to 60 miles, and I think calling it a march is also so adorable. Well, that's all I have to discuss today. But believe me, this is not the end of me talking about aquatic birds, because I love those things. Until next time, always remember, toss the puffins toward the sea.